Hi, I'm Dani. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about why I bought my Kelly 32 over here. This is my very first purchase from Hermes, and I thought I would share my story as to how I came about buying this bag. It's my very first purchase from Hermes, and usually when someone buys a Birkin or a Kelly, there is a huge thought process behind it. Firstly, because these bags are so expensive. Secondly, it's because the first bag that you see is actually the first bag that you've bought. These bags are so elusive. You can't go into the store and just go, hey, how you going? Can I have a look at a Birkin or Kelly? They'll probably be like, no, sorry, we have no stock. So I've tried to be a little bit strategic with this, and I think I have come up on top. Anyway, you can listen to my story and you can judge for yourself. Now, this is going to be a long video, so feel free to maybe increase the playback speed of the video or go get a cup of coffee or a tea. And without further ado, let's get started. So this is the start of my Hermes journey, and I can't believe I've started with a Kelly. So I'm just going to go ahead and reveal the bag for you and let her sit in the background, because I find it a little bit mean when people just talk and talk and talk and they only show you the bag at the very last minute. So here she is. So this is a Kelly 32 in Retourne style. The leather is Clemence leather. The color is Rose Jaipur with gold hardware. I'm just going to park her here so you can have a look at her while I have a chit chat with you. So for the longest time, I didn't want an Hermes Birkin or a Kelly. So the first bag that I got to know was the Birkin, because it's more popular, more iconic. And firstly, it was because I thought, oh my gosh, the price is absolutely insane and completely not achievable. Number two, I also thought it was quite an impractical bag to get in and out of. So when I first got to know the Birkin, I didn't know that you could leave the top open. So I thought that in order to access the bag, you've got to deal with the turn lock, you've got to deal with the sangles and the flap. And once you're done with the bag, you then have to put that all back together. I just thought that was too impractical. And thirdly, I also thought way back then that it looked like an old lady's bag. Even when I was not aware of the need to develop a purchase history and a relationship with the fashion house, I was not interested in Hermes at all. I was more interested in Louis Vuitton at the time because I felt that their designs were more functional and age appropriate. So how did I decide to buy an Hermes Kelly? So fast forward 7 to 10 years, not only am I an old lady now, I'm also a mother. All those parents who are watching, leave me a heart in the comment section below. Parenthood can really change your perspective, and really as a mother, I guess I was not comfortable using my luxury handbags on a regular basis, because at the time most of my life comprised of having to handle a lot of bodily fluids. I also had to visit public toilets really frequently. I was outdoors in playgrounds a lot, and there was a risk of being rained on or pooped on by birds or stepping on dog poo. Very glamorous, right? And I also couldn't baby my bags because obviously I can't drop my own baby, right? So I came to realize that if I bought a luxury handbag, I wouldn't be able to use it straight away, and I might have to wait a few years until my daughter became independent before I can use it. And if the bag is a trendy bag, in a couple of years, I may not like it so much anymore. And that's when I became drawn to more classic bags. Now, the question of how did I get over the price tag? We live in the era of, exactly, luxury price increases. Now, because the luxury houses have increased their prices so significantly in the last couple of years, comparing the prices between Chanel and Hermes, the prices are not that different anymore. So if I skip buying 2 Chanel bags, I can get 1 Hermes bag. So kind of bittersweet that, you know, I'm not really buying a lot of Chanel for that reason. But yeah, in a way, thank you, because it's actually made my decision a little bit easier to transition to Hermes. So as part of my research, of course, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and you might laugh at me, but the first time I heard of a Kelly was like 2 years ago. So after watching a whole ton of YouTube videos comparing the Birkin and the Kelly, I decided that the bag that I wanted from Hermes was a Kelly 25 Sellier in Epsom leather. That's a very popular choice. So the Kelly 25 is a smaller bag than this one. This is a Kelly 32, which means that the base measures 32 centimeters across, and a Kelly 25 measures 25 centimeters across. So it is a smaller bag than this one. And I also wanted it in the Sellier and the Epsom leather. And those are features that makes the bag a little bit more structured. and I loved how sleek that looked. I was happy for it to come in any color because, you know, I can wear neutrals, I can wear color. I'm a very small person. I'm only 5'1" or 152 centimeters, and sometimes when I wear black, you know, I'm practically invisible. I kind of just blend into people's shadows. If I'm waiting to buy ice cream, often I can be waiting a long time for service. And sometimes someone else walks in behind me and the shopkeeper goes, "Oh, hey mate, how you going? What can I get you?" And then that person goes, "Oh, did you know that there's someone else waiting for service?" Anyway, I also wanted the Kelly over the Birkin because the Kelly comes with a shoulder strap, which I haven't got on right now, but it's in the box. I felt that the shoulder strap made it a bit more versatile. It was more practical. I also prefer the silhouette of the Kelly. I feel like it makes more of a statement compared to the Birkin. I feel that if I was going to pay so much money for a bag, I really wanted to be able to get as much function out of it. So I needed to be able to use it during the daytime and also dress it up at night. The Birkin, on the other hand, has a little bit more of a paper bag silhouette. A beautiful paper bag, mind you, and I'm not having a go at the Birkin. It is on my wish list as well. Once I committed to the decision of buying a Kelly, I then had to decide, okay, how was I going to get one? Was I going to go via the reseller slash pre-loved route or via the boutique? And some of you may already know, in order to get offered one from the boutique, you need to build a purchase history. So Hermes likes you to buy their other products before they offer you a Birkin or a Kelly. Some people say that you have to spend at minimum a 1-to-1 ratio in order to be offered a bag. So this means that if you want a $15,000 bag, you have to spend $15,000 on other products first before you'd be offered a Birkin or a Kelly. Some people say that this purchase history does not include leather goods. It has to be like their homeware or their jewelry. And some people say that if you purchase their jewelry, there's a bigger profit margin, so there's more incentive for them to offer you a bag. So perhaps try buying jewelry. Some people say if you live in a very affluent area where there is a very high demand for Hermes, your chances of being offered a Birkin or Kelly is again lower. Your chances can potentially be improved if you get along really well with your sales associate, because they're more likely to try and justify to a store manager to offer you one of these really coveted bags. Yes, a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. The Birkin and the Kelly are the hardest bags to make, and they do take a longer amount of time to make. So I can only assume that the profit margin on these bags are lower compared to some of the other products. So I think it is very strategic of the fashion house to suggest that you buy some of the other products first to increase your profit margin before you get offered one of these bags with a lower profit margin. Now, I'm going to say that all of this is speculation. I don't think Hermes has ever come out to say this is how you get offered a Birkin or a Kelly. Now, because it's so hard to get one of these bags from the boutique, the resellers market for these bags are huge as well. So much so that you have to pay above retail if you buy it from a reseller. So for example, if a bag is 15,000 Australian dollars, if you buy it from a reseller, a bag that is a popular neutral color could go for about $22,000 to $29,000. That, I know, that's just absolutely insane. That's practically like twice the price. And we're not talking about, you know, something costing $100 and you're paying, you know, $200 for it instead. Personally, I really wanted to get a bag from the boutique because how special would it be to be offered a bag straight from the boutique, right? And that way, authenticity is also guaranteed. So to cut this part of the story shorter, I was ready to dabble in buying some of the other stuff. So I was interested in the Kelly ring, the CDC ring. I was also interested in their Kelly belt and maybe some of their scarves. And I know that's not going to build up a huge purchase history, but I was hoping that with my very charming mannerism, I would be offered a bag. I also knew that this was going to be a long shot because I also live in Adelaide and there's no Hermes boutique in Adelaide, which means that I would have to try and build a really good relationship with an SA in an interstate store, which might be Melbourne, Brisbane, or Sydney. So I was really trying to get the stars to align here, but I was just saying that I was ready to try. So what happened? I watched this video. If you haven't seen this video, this is Mel from Purse on Fleek. Mel loves adores, worships, breathes Hermes. I don't know if she still does, but she definitely did. If you haven't seen this video, essentially she talked about how she was contacted by Hermes HR to say that her behavior was causing her sales associate emotional distress. And I guess that was because she was frequently contacting her SA to ask for her dream bags. Mel had also expressed in this video that she had expectations to gain her dream bags because she had already spent over 100,000 Australian dollars at the store, and she has been a loyal customer to the Hermes boutique for years now. And at the same time, Mel had also observed that a lot of other people were being offered their dream bags, and I guess she more or less expected that it was her turn as well. Oh man, I really feel for Mel. But in any case, I appreciate that she put out this video because it made me aware of the risk that I was taking. You know, what if I embarked on this journey and spent all this money at the boutique only to be contacted by Hermes HR to say that my behavior wasn't acceptable? I think that would be a huge kick in the guts for me. Ooh, cringe. So clearly this means that I bought my bag pre-loved, and I got this from the Purse Affair, which is a luxury consignment store based in Melbourne. I have purchased from them in the past and I feel very confident buying from them. I also wanted to buy from an Australian seller so that the bag arrived quickly, and that reduces the risk of it getting lost in transit. I also didn't want to face any international tax or duties that could potentially come with an international purchase. And by the way, there's a tip for you. If you want to have a look and feel of an Hermes bag in person, if there is a luxury consignment store near where you live, go ahead and pay them a visit. So why did I decide to buy a Kelly 32 in Clemence leather Retourne when I originally wanted the Kelly 25 Sellier in Epsom leather? So after a bit more research, I realized that the Clemence leather is a softer leather compared to the Epsom. And the softer leathers, because they're softer, they're easier to manipulate and they're easier to get in and out of. They're more comfortable to use. The softer leathers, because they're soft and more supple, they tend to give way to resistance, and in that sense, less prone to deeper scratches. And although they can get light scratches, the light scratches are apparently easier to buff out in the Hermes Spa. As opposed to Epsom leather, which is a stiff leather, they're more prone to deep scratches. Okay, so this is when I decided to get a 32, which is a larger bag, so a bag that's less trendy at the moment. And the resale market price actually reflects that as well. So I purchased this for under 15,000 Australian dollars from the Purse Affair. And that's actually very similar to the current recommended retail price if you buy it straight from the boutique. And in my opinion, I think that's a pretty good deal because I didn't have to buy any extra Hermes products in order to get this bag. And this bag is in really good used condition. I'm pretty confident one day that the big bags will be trendy again and I will be rocking this Kelly loud and proud. And that's the time when I'll be looking for my mini Birkin or Kelly. And I'm just going to put it out to the universe right now. My next bag that I want is a Kelly 25 in Blue Paradise in Swift leather in exactly 3 years time. And in 3 years time, I'm going to come back and check to see if I've got one. Leave me a comment below to let me know whether you think I'm totally crazy or if you agree with my strategy. Thank you so much for listening to my story. Don't forget to leave me a like if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, and do subscribe as well if you want to see more luxury content from me. I'll see you next time. Bye!